Welcome to Postgame at the Hellier Center. Big win tonight for the Indian Hills Warriors, moving to 3-0, 60 burger. They throw up on the visitors from Independence there. I've got Trevion, LaBeaux, and head coach Hank Plona along with us here. Dwayne Cook on Go Hills TV, powered by JBS, bringing more to the table. We're going to start with the young man on my left here, Trevion. Almost a double-double for you. 8 points, 10 rebounds. You lead the way with those 10 boards, though. Take me through your intensity of crashing the glass here tonight and what you were seeing out there that let you have so much success there.
Rebounding is kind of, it's my personnel. I just think I do best, and every day I practice, coaches make sure I go rebound hard, and then that's the result. If I do rebound how I know I can.
Sure. 3 offensive boards, too. That led the way for the squad. I know that's a big part of it. Second chance points, even if you sometimes get third chance opportunities. I mean, it helps you be able to put up those big century mark kind of games.
Yeah.
No doubt. So you're the kid from Iowa, right? Everybody else on the team, we got from Waterloo, hailing from Waterloo here. So I know it probably means a little bit more to you, I would say too, to be able to represent the home state here, right?
Oh yeah, it feels good. I've seen a lot of home people from Iowa out here watching me, supporting the team. The intensity was there. It was a good game.
Let me ask you about defense, too, because I know Coach Plona last night was talking about wanting to come out in this game and really establish some intensity on that end of the court, and you guys really were able to do that. Overall, what was it, 9 steals here in the ball game, and assists, too. Passing the ball was outstanding, too, all across the team. How are you guys feeling out there during the game?
I feel like we all worked together. We were on a string, especially on the defensive side. Like, one help, we got another one helping the helper. We all just clicked, and we all connected, and the energy just kept everything going.
No doubt. Coach, that's what you said last night, is you wanted to see that intensity come out here against the Independence team because, like you said, they came here to play Indian Hills. Everybody does come to the Hellier Center to take on the Warriors. How'd you feel about that tonight?
Hard to complain with that.
Yeah.
No, I think this whole week we've made a lot of progress, and I think that you really could see the result tonight.
Mm-hmm.
They're a much better team than what they just looked like late in that game. Obviously, it's a long trip for them, and I know they're probably disappointed to lose yesterday. You know, it took a little bit of wind out of their sail. I thought at the end of the first half we really run, maybe those last 4 or 5 minutes. I think once we knew our depth. You know, both teams have played 3 games this week. I know we have a lot more depth than they have. So we thought that our depth could be an advantage. We wanted to try to kind of play in the full court for a lot of the game and just kind of keep throwing bodies at them and kind of wear them down with some defensive energy and pressure. And I think these guys are really buying into just, you know, doing what's best for the group, staying present, staying in the moment, helping your teammates. You know, I feel like our buy-in to that, helping every individual and helping our team be successful is as good as it's been. So, you know, Trevi's been one of the guys the entire year. I tell him sometimes the issues that I'm trying to coach him at are a little bit different than the issues I'm trying to coach the rest of the team at because, I mean, he's a winner and a champion in every sense of the word. I mean, he's I'm telling you, the huge future for this guy. Okay, so I mean, I just think that it's part of the reason when we win like that, you know, it's almost normal business for him. But I think our other guys have really improved and bought into it and believe that, okay, our team's success is in all of our best interest individually. And obviously, on a day like today, it feels really good. I mean, It's a pretty happy locker room after the game. And I think that, you know, once we keep getting a taste of the success that we can have as a team, I know that we'll keep wanting to kind of run that back and feel that more and more.
Trevi, huh? You like that? You go with that? All right, we're going to use that. Here, we're going to use Trevi for now, Trevi LaBeaux. Coach, talking about rebounding, too. Obviously, this is your leading rebounder sitting next to me here with his 10 tonight, but plus 31 on the glass. And we knew from watching that game yesterday with Independence and Iowa Lakes that they don't have a whole lot of size. So I'm sure coming in you wanted to take advantage of that, and you guys did.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have some size, length, and I also think we have really good instincts. I mean, looking at Devontae Hall, 6 rebounds. You know, Ryan Myers, 5 rebounds. You know, when the guards really, you know, commit to it as well, and you have 5 guys consistently getting loose balls and getting rebounds. I mean, I just think it should be our strength. I think you know, probably like a lot of coaches, I think we should get every rebound. I think we should get every loose ball. So
sure.
If you try to get those, but I think we have the quickness and the intelligence to be able to do that and the instinct. So I think, you know, our issue as a team is sometimes we're thinking about, wait, what are we supposed to be doing? No, let's stay in the moment. And that ball, when nobody has the ball, the best players are able to get it. You know, we all get the ball sometimes when it's passed to us. But I think the best, whether it's loose ball, a deflection, a charge, a rebound, whatever way, when nobody has the ball, I think the elite players are just able to get that ball more than average players are. And I think we have a lot of guys that project as elite players. So it's I'm happy that we saw that we did that, and hopefully against again in our biggest games this year, if we can continue to rebound the ball well and continue to pounce on loose balls, I think we'll have a lot of success.
You talk about the rebounds being pretty well split up, aside from the 10, obviously, that Trevion put up here. But also, I thought the scoring was pretty well balanced overall from both guys in the backcourt and the front court, too. Look at it. You got 5 different guys in double figures, and you put up 100 points, you think, oh, somebody went off and had 20-plus, and it didn't turn out that way. And it was done at all phases of the game.
It was a really good percentage, too. I didn't see anybody out there going off script and trying to do their own thing, yeah, no doubt. I think we have a very deep team, and I think if we hit our peak, our depth is going to be an advantage. And I think that as the game goes on, as teams get tired, we shouldn't get tired, but it's not easy to get guys to accept that, and to embrace that, and that's a little bit of what our challenge has been. I think a lot of people think if they're not averaging double digits, then they're not playing well. When you have 13 Division I players out there, there's no bad basketball players on our team, So everybody has the potential to have a game where they have 20, Everybody in their past has had a lot of games where they've had 20, So I think, but you become a much better basketball player, I tell Trevion all the time, if you want to be a high major player, then show you can play with 4 other high major players. Like you can't, if you want to be a pro, be able to play with 4 other pros. That's what the best basketball players do. So, I'm thrilled with there hasn't been 1 minute this year where I've thought that we didn't put our roster together the right way. No, I know we have the right people in that locker room, but just getting everybody to buy into what we can be at our peak as a team. It's been a little bit of a process, but shoot, obviously Tuesday, I did not think we played great, but we were able to really come back twice and tough out a big win. I thought we played better yesterday. I thought, as Cloud showed today, they're a better team. That's not a bad basketball team.
No.
And then we probably hit our peak tonight. So hopefully we can keep going. Obviously, we got a huge one with John A. Logan on the road on Wednesday. So, hopefully we keep the positive momentum going and we can play well on Wednesday.
Trevion, let me ask you about that too, and playing with these guys, because the depth is evident, obviously, and how many guys get in the score. 12 different guys score here tonight, and we had people commenting in on the video too about how the depth is just really stands out, especially in a lopsided game like this. But what's that like with the dynamic in the locker room of working with those guys and doing what Coach Plona says of being able to play like a pro and play with 4 other possibly D1 players?
It's a good experience, and it helps you in the long run. But playing with 4 other pros, just
future pros.
Future
4
pros.
If we were pros right now, Trevor, we'd be making money.
Okay, future pros. It just makes you better. Just get ready for the next level, whatever that is.
Sure. So looking as well here, if you want to nitpick, it's hard to nitpick, obviously a 60-point win here. And Dr. Thompson was on with me there for the second half of the second half. Yeah, he was. So he wanted me to ask you specifically if there was something to point to from your perspective that you want to continue to improve upon. What would that be from tonight's game that you learned?
Our biggest thing that we've been trying to do is just to stay present and stay in the moment. I think we just want the guys, especially early, maybe, trying to, I didn't quite know the game would kind of be as up and down as it was. And once you realize that, just trust your instinct, rather than trying to, worry about what we're supposed to be doing, what play you're supposed to be running, just stay present, keep communicating, keep adjusting on the fly, keep helping your teammates. When something goes wrong, bounce right back. Here, I'll give you a good example. And I think Eddie, Leroy, and Enoch are probably, in my opinion, the best at it, but they've listened to me for a year on this. And as a new guy, I think, like I said, Trevi's right up there. He's won a lot of games. And I think, but on Tuesday night versus Dodge City, Don hits a great shot and Enoch made a great pass. When Truth lost the ball with 7 seconds to go, 4 guys kind of put their head down. And Eddie sprinted up there and gave that foul with 3.6 seconds to go. It'll never get talked about, but that's a staying in the moment. Teammate makes a turnover, and usually you get back, but in that situation you go foul. We watched that on video and saw. That's an unselfish play that nobody's. I might have made the joke that Don McHenry's posted his video 713 times. But if Eddie doesn't make that play, it never gets to that. So who's staying present? Who makes a second effort? Who makes a third effort? Who has a teammate's back when a teammate accidentally makes a mistake? So we just got to keep getting better at that. I think these guys want to be sometimes, we're going to try to be perfect, but you got to accept that you're not. You know, you try to be perfect because then you'll be pretty good. You can't just try to be pretty good because then you'll be average. So you want to try to be perfect, but you also have to accept that it's not going to be perfect, and you got to continue to play together and adjust on the fly and give multiple efforts. So we just got to keep working at that and staying present, staying in the moment. You know, and I think Wednesday's game will. We better stay in the moment because it's going to be a dogfight. It's going to be as tough as it gets. You know, our first road game, true road game. I'm not sure a school like, you know, they play Vincennes every year, who's a historic program, but I'm not sure they've ever had an out-of-league opponent like us walk in there. So I would think it's going to be a pretty legit environment, and we've got to, you know, at this point, I'm looking forward to it. I think these guys are too.
That's the next test, 3-0 for the first time since 2019 for this team, and then obviously the next 3 are on the. Did you know that? Did you know that?
Well, I did. I remember the last 2 years. So
Yeah, probably. 3-0, great. You couldn't ask for a better start, obviously, in that sense. But the next 3 are on the road, like you said. You start with a big one Wednesday at John A. Logan, and you got a couple more before you come back here, I think, and play the #1 team in the country. I mean, Dr. Thompson and I were talking about that as well, of how you've loaded the schedule to make sure this team is prepared and battle-tested when the time comes.
Yeah, I want these guys to be the best basketball players they can be and the best team that we can be. The only way to do that is you play the best people. So I'm not really into building fake confidence. I think, you know, we want to build real confidence. We want to build the only way to be a future pro is you play against really good people. You know, I don't see the point of coming out and playing anybody but that. So yeah, we'll be tested for sure. I think you feel yourself growing. You know, whether it's a win or a loss, you just keep getting better. And we're on about a 4.5 month journey here. But yeah, in the meantime, if I was a fan, yeah, there's gonna be some entertaining games. I think Johnny Logan's top 10 team in the country. Somehow they were unranked in the national poll. In the media poll, they're about 7 or 8. I mean, I would have them at 4 or 5. I mean, they're like us. You know, we've played them twice the last 3 years, and I mean, we've been fortunate enough to come out on the right side of very, very close, hard-fought games. So, again, I can't have any more respect for Johnny Logan and their program than I do. Like I think there's probably 8 or 10 national programs, and they're one of them. So, again, huge test here on Wednesday.
Trevion, I want to ask you to kind of wrap up here. Get 3 games with this home crowd here. Get to kind of experience what Hellier Center is like. What's it been like through the first 3?
It's been a good start. The fans been there supporting. I think that's what makes our energy there even more. It's been good to start off at home. Now ready for the road.
All right, get that road test. And Coach, I told the folks listening I was going to ask you this. What's with the green? Are you feeling the Christmas spirit here early in November, or what are we doing with the green?
Nope. Just, just trying to, it's funny. I'll tell you what is up with the dress clothes is that I want to make sure these games are important. I think sometimes I kind of felt myself tell these guys on Tuesday that Dodge City game is the most important game I've coached in my career. I truly believe that. Now I think that every game is the most important. And I want these guys as players. So it's just a subtle way of showing them that I'm not playing around and this is a business game and we got a business trip on Wednesday. So. I just like the green shirt. If I got to dress up, I got to have some decent drips.
Sure.
Right? But,
I get you.
But no, I thought it was it was just but the point of dressing up is to show that this is very, very important. I want these guys to treat every single day like it's very, very, very important.
Color of money for those future pros, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Very good. Very good. Congratulations, Coach. Big win tonight, 60 points, and to you as well, Trevion. Thanks for both of you for joining us.
Thank you.
I was told last night I messed up too by not giving the folks in the room here the opportunity to say,
Go Warriors!
There we go. I didn't get that memo ahead of time. Thanks for watching with us on Go Hills TV. 108-48, 60-point win tonight for the Indian Hills Warriors. They head out on the road Wednesday to take on John A. Logan. I'm Dwayne Cook. Thanks for being along with us.